listening to Fun Kids, the best radio station ever.
Hello, my name's Emma-Louise and welcome to LNER Kids Club, your podcast where we explore all about LNER and the amazing train that you're on today. In this podcast, we'll be discovering a what, how and why of LNER.
And I'm Lauren, your conductor of curiosity. From the drivers in the cab to the brains behind the digital magic, we're going to meet the people who make the railway whir, zoom and whoosh.
Ready to roll? Let's jump on board. Let's start with a zoom through time with our LNER track facts. So Lauren, did you know LNER stands for London North Eastern Railway? And the original was born in 1923 from a mega merger of 33 railway companies.
33 companies all trying to make friends, that can't have been easy.
All together. Now, the original LNER owns 7,700 locomotives, 23 hotels, and even 30 horse boxes for racehorses.
That's a lot to think about in one go.
It's a lot. Now, in 1928, the Flying Scotsman made history as the first non-stop train from London all the way to Edinburgh in just 8 hours.
Wow. Whoever came up with that name deserves an award. That's really cool. I love that name.
All right, I've got more facts for you. LNER also owns steamers, docks and canals. They weren't just train bosses, they were basically transport superheroes.
What do you think their costumes look like as superheroes? As transport superheroes, what do you think their costumes look like?
I would say it's got to be like a cape, but maybe a cape that's got trains on it. But trains and horses and canals, like all sorts of transport on the cape, maybe?
That's true. And do you think they've got like a mini wheel on the side of their hip they can wrap the cape round so it doesn't get stuck in any doors or anything?
What a good idea. Yes. If it doesn't, it needs that.
And it'd have to be red because LNER.
Exactly, is red today. And also today, LNER provides long-distance intercity services on the East Coast Main Line, so all across the east coast of the country. LNER's Azuma trains zoom up to 125 miles per hour across the East Coast Main Line, stopping at places like York, Leeds, Newcastle upon Tyne and Edinburgh.
And here's some really Azumazing facts. Did you know a 9-car Azuma train is 234 metres long? That's longer than 2.5 football pitches. And it weighs 438 tonnes. That's the equivalent of 73 African elephants.
We'll be finding out more about the Azumas later. And of course, you need more than just a cool train to get you where you're going. In fact, it takes a whole trainload of amazing people to keep LNER running. But to get us going, let's get warmed up with a game. Okay, so you're on your train and it's raining. Hope you brought a brolly. If you are on a train in the rain, here's a fun way to pass the time. It's called the Raindrop race. When you're speeding along at 125 miles per hour, the rain on the windows moves quite fast. Why not challenge your family and friends to a raindrop race? Each player needs to select a raindrop at the top or front of the window. That's the edge nearest the front of the trim. And then follow it as it makes its way down or across the window. The raindrop that reaches the bottom of the other end first wins. And if anyone spots a rainbow, that is an extra bonus point.
Simple, silly, super fun. Ready, set, splash. But if it's a sunny day, why not challenge your family and friends to a cloud game? See who can first spot a cloud that looks like an animal or a person. Oh, that one looks like a goat to me.
How did you get on? Now, how many people do you think work to make our railways run?
Ooh, 40,000?
Too low.
75,000?
Come on, are you even trying here?
90,000? Come on, that's like a Wembley Stadium of people.
Close, but you're not close enough. 100,000 are involved in running the trains, keeping the track, signals, tunnels and bridges all in working order.
Wow, so many people, so many jobs. If we ask you about working with trains, what job might you do? What jobs are there? Well, imagine LNER's like a big sports team. Could be football, could be hockey, basketball. The passengers, they're the roaring fans, wanting their team to win, or, in train terms, gets to its destination on time. The train, that's like the ball. It's got to get from A to B. And the team playing the game, legends in every position.
Let's explore those team legends. First, you've got the players, the ones running around and doing all the action. Train drivers, up front, powering the train through every twist and turn. Station customer service staff, holding the line, helping people get on safely and keeping things moving. Customer experience hosts, the super fans, cheering you on with snacks, smiles and service. Train managers, keeping everything flowing smoothly on board. And chefs, preparing and serving food and drinks on board the trains. Let's hear from one of LNER's drivers now as he takes questions from some young passengers.
So I'm Vaz. So I started on the railway when I was 20 years old, and I started as a dispatcher, went on to become a driver, and now I am training drivers.
My name is Alexander. What is your favourite part about driving a train?
Favourite part of driving a train is the satisfaction that I'm taking passengers to their desired locations. You know, some of them might be going on holiday, some of them will be going to the beach, you know, taking families, you know, and making sure their day, you know, is fun, exciting, and they've had the best day ever. Knowing that, it's joyful.
And what's your favourite control in the cab?
The power controller, getting that horsepower up, getting that up to speed at 125 miles an hour.
And what is the fastest speed you've ever driven in a train?
125 miles an hour. Is that fast?
Yes, very fast.
That is very fast, isn't it? Yes.
Faster than the time when my daddy got a speed ticket.
Definitely faster than that,
Yeah.
but I don't get a speed ticket.
I'm Carter, and my question is, which is your longest ride in your train?
So the longest time I've driven a train, so it's roughly about 3 hours 40 minutes from King's Cross, London King's Cross, to Newcastle. But that is stopping every station that we stop at, call out, all the way up to Newcastle. So 3 hours 40 minutes. Yeah, it's a long time, isn't it? But you know what? It's the best time.
What's the farthest distance you have ever driven a train?
So the furthest I've driven is always up to Newcastle. That's how far my licence allows me to drive, and that is 274 miles from London King's Cross. So long distance, isn't it? 274 miles.
That sounds like a really cool job. So, Emma-Louise was talking about the team legends at LNER, as if they were a football team. Let's also remember the team behind the scenes who make everything work. These include the engineers, of course. Some might say, the real driving force. Hey, I'm a poet and I didn't even know it. Don't laugh, I'll be testing your word wrangling later on. Engineers are like the coaches, physios, analysts and ground crew of the railway world, planning, building, fixing and testing and improving everything so your journey is safe, smooth and speedy. Then there's the cleaners, who make sure the trains look good both inside and out. Here's Linda, one of the engineers at LNER, talking to some of our young train enthusiasts.
Hi, I'm Linda Wayne. I'm the Engineering Director here at LNER. And I've got a couple of young listeners who want to ask me some questions, which I'm really terrified about.
Can you explain what your job is like?
Oh, my job's great. I love my job. It's really good fun. I make sure that all the trains are ready every day for everybody to ride on. So it's working in the depots and fixing the trains, but it's also new things because we're putting digital signalling in the trains. I work with loads of great people and out on the trains a lot. I get to travel on the train a lot. It's really good fun.
Do steam engines come to this station anymore?
They do. I don't know if you know, but York Railway Museum is just over the road from us here, and they run trains out of there, like the Flying Scotsman that come through the station, and a few others on tours as well.
Wait, so you can actually get in, like, being used?
And we've got a new steam train, called Tornado, which is it's like an old steam train, but it's been remade as a new one. So it's out there doing services. So yeah, you can see steam trains.
My second question is, could you take a train York to Paris? I know because they're like an underwater tunnel through the British channels, isn't they, to France? So could you do that technically?
Yes, definitely. A while ago, we used to run the old trains that used to go, the Eurostars that used to actually go through the tunnel under to Paris. When they'd finished on there, we used those on our route for some time. So we've actually run the same trains that do go through the tunnel. But they need to be electric ones. We can't put ones through the tunnel that have got engines because obviously there'd be too much smoke in the tunnel. So just electric trains in the tunnel.
How many seats are there in an LNER Azuma?
Well, we have different types of Azuma. We have ones which are 5 cars long. They've got 5 coaches and they have just over 300 seats. And then we have 9-car Azumas, which have 9 coaches, and they have just under 600 seats.
What is your favourite part about your job?
Oh, I love my job. My job's fun. I do different things every day, meet loads of great people. I get out to the depots to see the trains when we need to fix them. I get the chance to ride out with the drivers in the cab so that I can check that our trains are working well for the drivers, or I travel with the crews to make sure all of the catering's working. So it's brilliant. I've got loads of things to do.
And to coordinate everyone, there's the management team. Senior management, who deal with all the main stakeholders and keep all the team members happy. And guess what? You could be next. Whether you love maths, puzzles, teamwork, or building stuff, there's a role out there waiting for you.
Now, I accidentally wrote a rhyme earlier, and that brings us to a cool way you can get involved.
You might not be old enough to drive a train just yet, but you can hop on board our super fun poetry competition. And we want you to have a go and write a poem about train travel. It could be about the train you're on today.
Or the station you departed from, a train adventure, or even the snacks you'd serve on board. Funny, thoughtful, wacky, or wild, we want to hear them. I had a go myself. No promises, I'm better at riding trains than rhyming on them. I once met a seagull on platform 3, pecking a biscuit and staring at me. All aboard, he squawked with flair, then flew off with the guard's spare underwear.
You know what? Not too bad. But if you think you can do better, and I think you can, here's Greg's entry. Clickety-clack, clickety-clack, the train is going fast. Clickety-clack, it has zoomed past. Clickety-clack, carrying all the passengers. Clickety-clack, and maybe even ambassadors. Clickety-clack, and we're not going to be last.
That was a bit better, but it did include underwear. That's a winner for me. Now here's a poem from Alexander.
I wait on the platform waiting for the train. I get to the seats and it starts to wane. The train starts moving and it feels really soothing. I get onto the main line and then I start to see the sunshine. I get my lunch and I see some birds in a bunch.
And here's another by Toby and Harrison.
When I was last on a train, I sat on a seat.
It was nice to sit down and rest on my feet.
We came back from Scotland where we saw a band.
And it was grand.
Billy and Cole have sent us some rhyming lines.
When I sit on a seat, they start to heat. The tram is just like a baby lamb. When the operator slams the door, it sounds like an angry boar. When we start to speed, I see a lot of weeds. The engines crackled. Wow, I was baffled. What is that noise? Not my toys, Mum.
Brilliant. Now we want to hear your railway themed poems. So grab your pens, pull into the imagination station and start writing your own train-tastic poem. It can be any length, but 4 lines is a great start. Make it rhyme or not. It's up to you. Make a rap, make it rhythmical, or just make it magical. Your poem could be on a future LNER Kids Club podcast and even displayed at LNER stations across the network. Ready? Steady? Right!
As we've been thinking about how railways work, maybe you could write a poem about the railway of the future. What might trains look like in the future? How might they be powered? And will they even run on rails?
In this podcast, as well as thinking about the future, we're also looking back into the past. Did you know 2025 marks the 200th year anniversary of modern railways? Here's a few highlights from the last 2 centuries. Locomotion number 1 was the first steam locomotive to carry passengers. Built by Robert Stephenson & Co. in Newcastle, it was used on the opening day of the Stockton and Darlington Railway on the 27th of September 1825. Now, it wasn't the first ever steam locomotive, but it was the first to carry passengers on a public railway, which is why it is so famous.
It's important to remember that railways aren't always about the tech, speed, signals, or the shiny trains. There's a human side to running a railway too, and sometimes that means helping some very special passengers. One magical Christmas in 2020, LNER helped make a big wish come true for a little girl in Lucas, a town on the east coast of Scotland. It all started with a message on social media. A man had bought a very special Christmas present for his niece, but there was one tiny problem. The present was huge. It wasn't just any teddy bear, it was a giant teddy bear, 8 feet tall. That's taller than a very tall grown-up. He needed help getting the enormous bear all the way to Scotland in time for Christmas Day. Luckily, LNER leapt into action. With a big smile and even bigger bear hugs, Mr. Bear was carefully loaded onto the train at York. And not just any seat. He got first-class treatment all the way. Mr. Bear travelled in style, zooming up the East Coast. And when he arrived, the little girl's dad was there to pick him up. Thanks to speedy teamwork at LNER, Christmas was saved. It was a journey full of joy, fluff, and festive cheer, and one giant teddy bear who became a first-class Christmas hero. It just goes to show that on the railway, every passenger matters, even the fluffy ones.
Okay, Lauren, it's time to test your train-tastic knowledge about the super speedy Azuma fleet. What does the name Azuma mean in Japanese, and why was it chosen for the train? Is it A, fast, B, east, C, train, or D, lightning?
Ooh, I'm going to go B, east. Azuma means east in Japanese, and since the trains were made by Hitachi, the same company that's built Japan's famous bullet trains, they gave it a cool Japanese name.
Phew, what a ride. So now we know a lot more about how railways work, and we've met drivers, poets, historians, futurologists, and even a bear. Remember, whether you're playing a raindrop race or dreaming up your own poem, there's a place for you on the railway.
Thanks for riding with us on the LNER Kids Club podcast. See you soon.